90 deals in 12 months as a new agent. In this extraordinary interview, I bring on Marc-André from Quebec, who breaks down 3 critical things that have allowed him to close over 500,000 GCI consecutively for multiple years. First being how he did over 90 deals from FSBOs. He breaks down his exact script and how he converted at such an enormous rate. The second thing is how he transitioned to the point where now he's breaking $500,000 every year without prospecting, entirely free from social media, and he breaks down the exact post that he's making and how he's getting such extraordinary results. And the third thing, which is mind-blowing, how he did $50,000 in commission with 5 minutes worth of effort using a strategic artificial intelligence tool that allowed him to work with a client and close multiple deals. I've never seen anybody talk about this strategy, and it's going to blow your mind when you see how this will help catapult your real estate business going forward. Now, 2 quick things before we bring on Marc-André. Number 1, I will link all of his incredible content below so that you can check it out and use it as a reference and resource for your own content. But number 2, I will link his calendar below in case you would like his direct support one-on-one for free in order to take your business to the next level. This is an unbelievable conversation, especially when it comes to mindset. So get ready for some tactical strategies that you probably haven't heard of before, and we're going to break down in detail with exact examples what you need to do today to go to the next level and start breaking $500,000 every year. All right, Marc-André, so super excited to have you on here, man, and to kind of unpack a story that I think is going to be very relatable to a lot of people. I know we're going to be talking about how you've done well with prospecting, what you've been able to do with social media, and also artificial intelligence, which I think is going to be a really cool topic. But I'd love to kind of hear your story a little bit, because you've faced what I faced, which is achieving success and then, really not being fulfilled or happy. And that was a huge catalyst of change to your business. So let's kind of dive in who you are, where you're from, and what kind of got you to this point.
Cool. Thank you, Mike, for having me here. Please be indulgent about my English. It's not my primary language, so I'll do my best. Um, it all started when I was 14 years old. I had a cousin that we just recently found due to an uncle that died. So we meet with them, having fun, and we start hanging together. And he was a millionaire. He had everything. He had the boat. He has the house on the lake. He has the car. He had everything. And me coming from a regular family that never had all that stuff, it was inspiring to see the level of quality of life you can have when you have money. And I just realized that at 14 years old. I was like, oh wow, it's nice to have money. I wish I'm gonna have money one day. So it went from wish to I want it to I have to have it, and it really built during my life. And I think the mindset is the most important thing you need to have success, because motivation pass. Okay, the New Year's resolution, they pass, but a mindset that it's something that you build inside of you, stay with you and help you achieve success. So and cut me if I talk too much, but what it started. I was 14, and so I have this vision. So at 18 years old, 4 years after that, I started working as a bus boy in a bar. I was working very hard. I was very fast, very good, not making a lot of money. So I started to realize that if you want to have success, you need to choose the right vehicle. You need to have the good business to invest your time in. So no matter how good I would at putting bottle in the refrigerator and how fast I could serve customer in the BR bar, I will not make me rich at all. So I have to choose the good vehicle. So I start in MLM. You know MLM, multi-level marketing. I start selling vitamins. And I saw people having a great success in this industry. And I always saw myself being on the stage and wanting to be on that stage. And for 18 years old, 20 years old dude, I thought I was working very hard to achieve that success, but I was not all in. I was not dedicated 100%, so I failed. I failed because I didn't put all the work. When it was tough, I was stopping, but it helped me build the good mindset. I was in process of achieving something better. Then one day I said, man, I need a real job. Like, I need to pay the bills. I need to make real money. So I start working for a big business here in Quebec. It's called Ameublement Tanguay, and it's range and meuble. What is meuble in English? Furniture. I was selling furniture. Okay. And I had a mentor, and I really start becoming very, very good in sales. I really rip off and duplicate what he was doing exactly and trying to upgrade a little bit and a little bit. Then I ends up at the end of 2 years working there, number one in the company on 110 um, furniture salesmen. And I look at my paycheck, and it was not that much great. Forget the boat, forget the house, the lake house, forget that stuff. Settle down something lower, which was not my goal. So I say I need to find the right industry. And during that time, my mothers-in-law start in real estate, and I wish she's not gonna listen to this podcast. I always knew I was better than her. I always knew I had more in me than what she could accomplish. And I saw her for a second year paycheck in real estate, which was over $100,000 a year. And I say, if she can do that, I can do 500,000. I can do the 500 grand a year GCI commission. I know. So I make my real estate. I did my real estate license, and I start. That's what brings
That's
me to real
incredible,
estate.
dude. That's wild, and I think, it's really important as somebody that young to understand that concept of being in the right vehicle. And a lot of people, Alex Hermosi talks a lot about that. If you've got a great skill set but you're in the wrong vehicle, you're not going to achieve a certain level of potential. And being able to identify that at such a young age is incredible. But also being able to understand what you're capable of, and I think it's important, even at a furniture store, being able to seek mentorship and guidance and a role model that you can emulate, and the work ethic of being a busboy. I think that's something that I've always seen in successful real estate agents is it doesn't matter what opportunity they have in front of them, they go all in all the time. Whether it's being a janitor or a busboy. For me, I worked at a gas station, similar story, outworked everybody, and that carries through, especially when you identify that right vehicle. So, you got into real estate, and you actually have found pretty incredible success. I'd love for you to talk about what's worked for you in
Yeah.
order to start to build momentum, especially, there in Quebec.
I had two phases to my success. Phase number one was I have to do it and do it now. I was in debt. I didn't have enough money. I was working prior to that in furniture sales, and I made some money, but money comes, money goes.
Yeah.
It's hard to keep money when you earning less than $100,000 a year. I mean, I don't know how people do to put money on the side because the cost of life is so high this day. So you need to make good money if you want to put some aside. So I didn't have money on the side. So I had to start very fast, and I didn't had money to invest to buy customer or put advertising. So I did what my DA, is it DA in English? The person that help you in the franchise, um, the director, the agent's director.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, so I did what my agent's director told me. She said, take the phone and call for sale by FSBO. Call FSBO.
Yeah.
So I start calling FSBO, and I put a, wait, a pile of paper that I print all of them, hours around me, okay, and I print them all one page by FSBO, and I start calling them. And my goal was to put the pile on the right of my desk and put it on the left of my desk after calling them took every week. Okay, and every week I have to turn into that and printing the new one, putting them on the pile, and continue like that. And I really fast. I have a very fast start, and I was able to put one or two new listing a week. doing
Wow.
that. So my first complete years, I say complete year because I start in May the first year. So my first real years, January to December, I made 90 sales, 90 transaction sales. So it was
Wow.
a quick start for the career, for the profession, which put me on the map too, because people from not being known at all. And I changed city too. I changed city. So I was in Beauce, and then I went to Quebec, which is 2 hours apart. So I knew nobody. So I had to do the business by myself. I had no referral, no not known. So I start dial. I start doing a little bit of coaching online on YouTube. You type how to call FSBO, what to do, what to say to objection, and trying to learn by myself because I had no money to buy the the, 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 the coaching at first.
Yeah.
So I started doing that, and I have a success. And I really think for the people that are listening to us right now, that the mindset you have to have in real estate if you want to have success is like a plane that you want to take off the strip. The throttle have to be 100%. The plane will not take off if the throttle is 20% or 50%. It will not be long enough for you to be able to catch in the air. So you have to put the throttle 100% if you want to fly. And once you fly, which is where I am right now, I haven't made a single phone call in the last 4 years. In the last 4 years, I never had to make a FSBO or an expired or nothing. And I've hit icon recently without doing anything, no prospection at all, and probably going to be ashamed of me, but no Facebook ad too, no Google ad, no nothing, just some post, free post, and that's what I do right now. So
Yeah,
once you are
that's
in the air, you can put the throttle at 20%. You're gonna keep flying.
of course. Yeah, that's incredible, man. To build that much momentum straight out the gate, but again, doing something that's so simple. And I think that's where a lot of newer agents go wrong is instead of just doing the difficult work to build momentum, they're always looking for the shortcut, the trend, the tip, the strategy that's going to give them, uh, allow them to not do the hard work, to just go to some easier path, which you and I both know doesn't exist. In the beginning of my story, I door knocked 3 hours a day, every single day in the snow, in the -10, in the cold in winter. But then, similar to you, 6, 12 months in, I never had to do it again. And it's that short term sacrifice for long term opportunity where you have to, do what you don't want in order to earn the right to do what you enjoy.
Yeah,
And I
it's
think
funny.
that's where a lot of people go wrong.
It's funny. Everybody was telling me, "Oh, you're crazy to doing that. It's so hard. It's so. I wouldn't be able to do that. Good job, you do it. You do it. I won't be able to do it." And every time I heard that, I was like, "Nice, less
Yeah.
competition." And I heard something about Lance Armstrong a couple of years prior to that. He say every day that was raining or sliding or that was harder, he said it's a good day for me. I'm used to feel pain. I had cancer. I know what pain is. So I was in this mentality. It's if it's hard for everybody, it's hard for me, but it's hard for everybody, and I'm better at suffering than you. And um, I want it more. That
Yeah.
ends up to that. I want it more. I really want. I gotta have it. It's
Yeah.
not. I wish I'm gonna have success. No, I gotta have it.
Yeah. It's that burning desire, and I love
Yeah.
that you add that mentality because it goes back to that concept of do what others won't so you can have what others can't.
Yeah.
And I felt the same about door knocking is, did it suck? Yes. But I also knew that I was outworking all the people that were lazy, complacent, weren't willing to put the work in. People say that I heard it all the time. Good for you. I would never do that. Well, that's also one of the reasons why you're probably struggling for deals right now. You're not willing to do the work. And before we get into your organic strategies, I'm really excited to hear that.
Yeah.
Um, what was your approach to FSBOs? I know that you don't have to go through your entire script because it might be
I'm gonna
difficult to
go
translate.
as detailed as I can. Okay.
Yeah,
The approach, the mindset, the mentality is they need you. Okay. First of all, they need you. They don't want you, but they need you. It's like a nail. If you want to have a poster on the wall, okay, uh, What you want is a poster on the wall. What you need is scotch tape or a nail. So when you go to buy scotch tape and nail, you don't want nail, but you need it to be on the wall. So
Mhm.
you gotta have it. So the realtor, okay, people don't want to have a realtor. They want to have a house sold, but they need us. With that mentality, you just need to bring to help them realize that um, you are something good for the success of what they want, but you need to know what they want. So fast in my script, I start introducing myself. They speak, they say objection. I just put the objection aside because objection just one time is not an objection. It's just a commentary.
Yeah.
It's just it's not important. If they just say it once, not important. If they say it two, three, four times, now it's important. Answer it. But at the beginning, you just put it on the side and go back to their project. So, so Mike, you have a beautiful house. Why are you selling? Is it because you're quitting Quebec, or you're staying in Quebec? No, I stay in Quebec. I just want to have a bigger house. We have new children. Nice, and I write that down on my paper. Okay, I want to have the more information I know. It's like a police. Everything you say will could and
Yeah.
will be held against you. Something like that. I don't know. It's like that. So I write the more information I can on the paper. And I remember there's one particular time I had 5, 6, 7 follow up with a customer, a future customer, and it was heading nowhere. Okay, really, she was always, she had no success, no visit, no nothing. And one day I just put my foot down. I say, look, you have English class, you have Spanish class, you're doing the rock you push on the ice
Oh,
and you
curling.
curling, you're doing
Yeah.
curling lesson, you're trying to learn golf, you have a dog that is not in shape, you have your a new boyfriend that live 30 minutes from there, and you're always there. So when you have to do your visit, you and I cite every information I have on the paper, showing them that I was really caring about their life. And I say, look, you need me. I'm gonna be at your home tomorrow at 2. We need to talk. We need to have this talk, and no pressure on what's gonna happen after that. But I need to meet you, and then I meet her, and I sell their house, and she refer me a couple of people after that. But if you're really truly intent about helping them because they need you, that's going to be better. So always focusing on their project, why they are selling, how you
Hmm.
can help them achieve that, and always cut the delay in two. If they told you, call me in a month, call them in 2 weeks, max, 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 max. Always cut in 2 or in 3, okay? Because other people are going to call them during that time. And you always want to be the last person in their mind that is really focusing on helping them in the project.
That's incredible, dude. That really boils down to where I think a lot of agents go wrong, which is understanding that difference and delineation between selling and serving. I had a similar approach when it came to door knocking. I had number one, and I identify this in what you're saying. I had an undisputed, unwavering confidence that I was the best person for the job. If you
Yeah,
don't have confidence that you're the best for the job, you're never going to be able to be assertive and be able to navigate the conversation. But then simultaneously, I genuinely wanted to help. And I actually cared about their outcome, like you're talking about, which goes back to serving. When you look at a lot of agents that struggle with prospecting, they're always focused on selling the transaction. They approach it with commission breath, and they're really just pushing and looking at it from what's in the benefit to them instead of how can I serve the client.
yeah,
And that's a huge difference. And you could tell that in the approach that you took, which I think is very, very beautiful. Now, transitioning to this next phase of your business, I think it's so cool to be able to see that you started with prospecting, you absolutely crushed it with FSBOs, but that's not a forever thing, and it doesn't have to be a forever thing.
should
I
not
think a
be.
lot of, exactly, because you know, yes, it's important to build a foundation, but so many people, and I think this is why you've thrived. I wanted to condense the time that I had to prospect so that I never had to do it again. And
Exactly.
that's why I just did it every day for 3 hours a day, 7 days a week for
May
six
I add
months.
something?
Of course.
When you're doing prospection at this intensity and this high level that I was doing, you're having result. But the biggest result that you have is the person that you are building in the
Yeah.
process, what you are becoming in the process. Because you heard you heard
Yeah.
you hear every objection in the world, okay, and you answer them a couple of times a day. So you know the PDCA, plan, do, check, and adjust. Plan, do, check, and adjust. You plan something, you do it, you check the result, and you adjust it. Some people have 20 years experience in real estate, but they don't have a lot of success. Why? Because they only do. They do what? They do what they did the first years. But I did PDCA every day, couple time a day. I plan my call. I plan my strategy. I do the strategy. I check the result and I adjust. And I did that several times, couple of times PDCA again and again and again. Then it built me at one point that when I was taking the phone, it was not one on 20% that say, hey, yeah, come meet me. It was one on two, on 1 or 3% that I was calling. So it become more fun, become more like a game. But the PDCA is very important. You have to become a better person, a better realtor. Yeah.
Dude, 100%. And I think, that's one of the things that I notice. You and I both know that communication's the number one skill set that you need to thrive in any line of entrepreneurship, let alone real estate. And I found that my communication skills developed exponentially by door knocking and prospecting, because you have to be able to think on your feet. You have to be able to navigate conversations, and you're getting these objections that steered in a different direction. You have to be able to be on top of it, but it helps you become such a weapon when it comes to, anything, listing presentations, buyers presentations, social media content. It allows you to develop into that person that, again, I love that you talked about, seeing some agents that are 20 years in the business, but they're not successful. And they often leverage that as a talking point of, oh, I've got 20 years experience. But the truth is, the majority of people that have 10, 15, 20 years of experience have been reliving their first year for 10, 15, 20 years because they're not doing the PDCA. And that's so important. I'm really, proud of you for bringing that up, is being able to course correct. I talk about this with YouTube all the time, is that, look at your first 100 videos as just gathering data. Every time you put out a piece of content, audit it, check it, review it, and then make the next one better and the next one better. And if you're constantly course correcting and auditing what you're doing, it gets to the point where every call you make, every door you knock, every video you put out is good, because you've been able to build that skill set and adjust over time. So, dude, that's such a powerful concept.
But you have to start. You can be
Yeah.
good, then start, but you have to start to be good. And that's where most people fail. They
Yeah,
fail believe that they can become better and having fun doing that and having success doing that.
for sure.
We need to
So,
start. So for the people that have never made a call, a FSBO call, give yourself 6 months. Give
yeah,
yourself 6 months, maybe three, but go for six to be sure that you call
yeah,
at least 25 people a day. Just 25 people a day, 25 contact, not phone call, contact a day, 4 days a week. If you
yeah,
just do that, it will change your life forever. Forever. The person you're going to become, the result you're going to have, the success story you're going to be able to share. And at one point, maybe you're not going to be able to do the 6 month completely if you do it properly with Mike's help and the Social Agent Academy help. Because if you do, what I didn't do at the beginning, I wasn't posting the thing, my success on Facebook. And
yeah.
what you say is really good. People have to know, trust, and like you.
Like you.
Okay, people was not knowing me because I wasn't posting my success on Facebook. I thought it was um, um, selfish, not selfish, but look at
Yeah,
me, I have success of doing that. But no, it's important. You got to do that. And posting stuff is not about only finding new customer outside of your friend zone. No, it's remembering your uncle, it's remembering your cousin, it's remembering your past coworker that you are doing that. They are not thinking about you if you're not posting. So I start posting a lot, and that take me out of the prospecting necessity. Now I only post and I only it just continue going well because I'm making, I don't know, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 deals a month, depending. So I'm always posting something, so people know that I have success, and people want to do business with somebody that they know they're gonna be able to treat the project properly, correctly, and having the highest result possible. So I always try to show that I bring the highest result possible, and
Hmm.
it's not about bragging; it's about marketing my business.
Yeah. Well, there's, that concept of starting is so important. And I talk about this with door knocking is that the hardest door to open is the car door. And once you get out there, or the hardest call to make is that first one, once you get in the groove, you realize, you have to have a little bit of faith in humanity. People are actually pretty nice. And yes,
Yeah,
you're going to get some objections. And yes, one out of every 100 people is going to be an asshole and treat you like shit. But the majority of people don't. It's actually not that bad. We make it up in our mind that we're just going to have, dogs sent to bite us and people are going to swear. I've had that once or twice out of knocking thousands of doors. And same with cold calling. It's really not that bad. But that concept, and I think there's a really critical perspective shift that people need when posting their wins on social media, because like you alluded to, many people think that it's selfish. Many people think that there's a side of ego, that it's bodacious or braggadocious, if you will, rather. And what you have to understand, and you and I hear this all the time, we'll meet people that sold or bought a house 6 months ago and they had a terrible experience. The realtor they worked with was awful. And the truth is that you're doing a disservice to your market by not sharing your wins, because if you've actually done a good job and you've actually helped people, you want people to know that you're going to do a good job so that you don't have people working with those nightmare agents that are selfish and
yeah,
don't pour into them and drop the ball. So you need to really shift that perspective for anybody that's listening that's fearful of sharing their wins, and realize that it should be your obligation to share your wins, because you're helping people that way avoid having to work with an agent that is not doing business or that is lying or that is not going to do as good of a job as you are, right?
yeah. True, true.
So let's talk about your social media strategy,
Yeah,
because I think that's a very beautiful transition to go from all in, full tilt, no holds barred when it comes to prospecting, but then being able to make that beautiful shift over to organic content. What is your organic content strategy?
okay. I like to put video and house tour video, and uh, I had a realtor in my city that is known by everybody. Okay, is known by everybody. His name is P. He do amazing stuff, and I always look at his stuff and say, "Wow, it's really good. It must bring him a lot of business. The stuff he did." And so too stupid to just do it as soon as I realized that, oh wow, it must bring him a lot of business. Let's continue doing phone call. Okay. And then I say, I can do that too. Why would I let him do that? And I start doing really, really good video of
Yeah.
a home tour. Okay. Not just fastly done and okay, let's go. Hold, it's not my phone. Okay, it's not. I don't have a pink phone. Okay, it's my girlfriend, and not just a fast tour like that. No, really good video. You build a script about the house to be very professional, and it's a window of prospection. Uh, uh, um, um, Passive prospection. A good
Yeah.
video is passive prospection for yourself, because when you put that online, put that on Facebook, put that on Instagram, put that on YouTube. Okay, very important. Uh, the video prospect for you. I always thought at the beginning that the video is for helping buyer know what the house look like. No, it's for
Mm-mm.
showing seller what you're gonna do for them the day they decide to put their home for sale. That everybody are only taking picture and you're gonna do the video. You're gonna be
Yeah.
and you can show them that you really know the house. You can show them that you are funny, that you are you know the market, you know the place, and that's what I start doing. And guess what? It worked. It really worked, and I now teach all people in my team to do that little bit of work of more, but that's gonna bring them the quality of life after that. Because once the video is put online, yeah, maybe it's gonna take you 2 3 hours building the video, filming it, but once it's online, there's a couple of hundred of you that of people of human that's gonna have a home for sale or to buy soon that gonna think about you. So really focusing on video right now. um, yeah, and content, short form content too, just to stay on top of the mind of people also.
Yeah, well, there is a very critical concept that you brought up when it comes to property tours. And that concept, and I hope people caught this, is that every single thing that you share online is a demonstration, a reflection, and a perception from other people of the quality of work that you do. And yes, posting something is better than posting nothing. But as you alluded to, looking at, okay, going the extra mile is never crowded. If I go the extra mile, the level of competition reduces dramatically. But also, this is now a complete portfolio that I can show other people of the quality of work that I do.
Yeah,
And putting that extra hour, 2 hours into each video to really showcase, this is where many agents struggle, is the difference between what they say and what they can show. A lot of agents talk about, I go above and beyond for all my clients, I'll outwork every other agent in my market, but can you show that? Can you prove that? And if you don't have anything tangible that you could show for that, it's really difficult to compete. If I'm going up for a listing presentation against you and I'm just talking about it, but you can show it, it's pretty evident who's going to
yeah,
win that listing because of proof of concept. And looking at this of saying, hey, you know, I can really showcase a completely different level of quality,
yeah.
but that's a reflection of my brand.
Exactly, exactly. Yeah, and that remember me. That bring me back. In 2018, I was one of the first to do um, virtual home staging in my house. So it wasn't known in 2018. Today, everybody do that, but in 2018, I was one of the first to do that. So when I was sit in front of the customer and he was um, asking myself, why would I pay you 5% on, or why would I hire you and not the 2 3 or other agent? But I was able to show them that, listen, I'm talking to 60 to 80 people a day about their house project because I'm really into the market. I'm calling everybody. I know what's happening. uh, I'm doing a lot of deal and I'm doing this and this and that. So yeah, like just like you said, you need to show what you can bring on the table, and it's bring back to the beginning. You say you really thought that you were the best for the job. Once you really doing what is the best that you can do, you thinking that even more, and
Yeah.
having a strong assumption about how good you are help a lot in closing the person in front of you.
Massive, massive. It's that level of self confidence is incredibly important. And that's what I found is a lot of that comes down to discipline. When you actually follow through with the commitments you make to yourself, you get what I refer to as a winning streak, where, everything you start doing ends up working out because you have that confidence that you're capable of doing it and you start operating at a completely different capacity because you know what you're made of.
Yeah,
Whereas when you drop the ball and you say you're going to do videos, but you don't do it, you say you're going to prospect, but you don't do it, that starts to create that massive self doubt that so many struggle with because they keep dropping the ball on what they promise themselves.
yeah.
One of the questions that many people are going to have is, okay, property tours. Are you filming the property tours? Are you hiring it out? What does that look like in terms of the actual production?
It depends of the type of project I have. If I have $1 million or more, I'm hiring a big team to
Hmm.
really put the best out of it. And yes, sometimes it's a lot of money. I make a deal with the team that make the movie, the video movie. It's I pay you half now and half when it's sale.
Love
So they
that.
accept that. So it's like a risk on both sides, okay? But it's a risk I take too because my most expensive video it's $4,000.
Hmm.
$4,000 for a video. It's a lot of money if you're not sure you're gonna sell the house, and it's a $2 million house, uh, far from the city. So it's hard to sell, but
Yeah.
I made it anyway because it bring me, I think, a lot of business that I don't know exactly where the business coming from, which video somebody saw and say, oh wow, it's a very good video. I'm gonna call Marc-André to sold my house, but I'm sure it paid by itself the video.
Yeah.
So when it's a big house, a good team. I have another video man, cameraman. I don't know. I have another person that is between the 500 to $1 million. He do great video. It's good, not as good, but it's good.
Yeah.
And I do my own video when it's below the 500,000. I do it myself, but I'm starting to be really good at that. So uh, because when you look at the professional, the big team doing their stuff, you look what they do and how
Yeah.
it ends up in the on YouTube. What okay, they did that like that, and it gives that result. So you're becoming better. So sometimes paying a professional to look at them what they do,
Yeah.
it's an investment in yourself for doing the next video by yourself on the smaller home. But I hope it answer your question.
100%. And I'm sure you feel this way too. Whenever I invested into my business, because a lot of people will look at that as an expense, that's a pure investment into the long-term growth of your business and that portfolio that you could showcase. But I found a sense of pride in seeing that finished product.
Yeah.
Like, I had confidence as an agent because I was proud of the content and the product that I put out there. Whenever I would see my photos, and my photos were real Twilight, not the fake AI Twilight, real Twilight. And I would see my videos and they were, they're beautifully crafted and there was a story behind it. And I
Exactly.
looked at what I was doing versus everybody else. You have that pride. And when you have pride, it gives you confidence. So I think it's important for people to be able to look at the product that they're bringing to the industry and saying, are you proud of the work that you're doing? Because that's a very critical component to being able to build up that self-confidence. Now,
I'm gonna give a
AI.
nugget. I'm gonna give a nugget to the people that are
Yeah,
listening.
please do.
Find pick the customer you want to have.
Hmm.
Pick it. Visualize it. Okay. Describe the person you want to have as a customer. Then ask yourself, what type of realtor does this person would like to have? What type of service they think it's a necessity for them in order to be able to sell the house? Then offer that. Dot.
Well, that goes back to personal branding in itself, is having clarity of your target avatar. Who are you trying to get in front of? Like, I look at my market of online training, and I know that the majority of people that listen to me are between 25 and 45, and they're the younger half of realtors. And I cater my content to them, which is why it sticks with them. I don't try and please everybody because I know that that's not going to work. And I think that's very important when it comes to prospecting, organic content, paid ads, anything. If you have clarity of whose problems you're trying to solve and you speak directly to that person, the conversion rate skyrockets, right?
Yeah.
So let's talk about AI. This is something really interesting because a lot of agents are fearful of AI. And then there's another component that acknowledge it, they're aware of it, but they don't think it can be practically introduced into real estate. They're like, okay, ChatGPT, that's fine. I'm able to write a one line prompt and then I can get a couple ideas. But they don't really have this awareness that there's very practical applications that can actually help you generate leads and close more deals. How are you introducing and applying artificial intelligence to your business as a realtor?
Okay, I have two stories about that. First story, I went this weekend to a mastermind event in Quebec, and one of the realtor that was in front that was speaking, a 20 years experience realtor, quit the profession for 5 or 6 years in the middle because he thought that internet had killed the business. Okay, he start his career with the book. Okay? People
Yeah.
was coming at his office and looking at the book, and those are the house for sale. You gotta look in the book to know the house. And when internet came, you say, "Oh my God, in 2 3 years, there's no more business. Internet's gonna kill the profession." So we gotta change. I gotta change. Okay, I'm quitting. I'm gonna start something right now because before it's too late. And he quit. He quit in early 2000 because internet's gonna kill the business. So if people are afraid of AI killing the business, I don't think it's gonna kill the business. I don't think a robot can end you by the end and say to you, "Trust me, this is a good house. This is the price we should offer." And really be human. We need the humanity in that. First thing, AI will not kill the business. I'm sure of that. Okay, maybe I'm wrong,
Hmm.
but I am sure of that. Um, Second thing, useful application. One of my favorite application that I discovered last EXPCon. Okay, the application was Agent. Agent is an application that you can put a video inside of the app, and it translates your video in any language
Yeah.
you want, and it do a great job. It use your voice, and it do a really good job. And I had a customer that came at one of my house I have for sale, and I was trying to speak with them in French. It was not working very well. I said maybe they speak in English, so I try to speak in English. Not that good, but I try to speak with them. No English at all. Spanish? No. Okay, what are you? What is your language? It's Chinese. Oh, okay, that I can help with that. But I put my video because I do video almost every time I have a house, and I explain really properly the house. I take the video, I put that in Agent. 5 minutes later, I had a translated video. I sent that to them, and they was what is the word? Yeah, amazed.
Yeah.
It was
Mind blown.
it was mind blowing about the result. Wow, this realtor in 5 minutes that we weren't able to communicate properly. Change that by sending us a video that explained properly the house, the key element about the house. Sending that to us, then we can go into the process with more information that we're used to, because usually nobody speak their language in my city. There's no realtor that speak Chinese in my city. So it ends up that I didn't sold them the house, but they keep my services to buy another house, and I sold her a house 200,000 more than the one we were looking at. So at 1,250,000, 2% commission is $25,000 that I made because I kept them with AI. I was always texting on my phone on ChatGPT, translate to Chinese, showing that the information, sending a video that I translate prior to that, and they give me the sale of their house in like Beauport, which is $950,000. We're gonna put that on the market this week. Uh, I look at the comparison; it's gonna sold in a week or two. It's gonna be hot bread, hot dog, hot bread. What is
Oh
the
yeah.
expression? You don't have that in English, no? Okay, in French we
Not
say it's
quite.
gonna sell like a hot dog, but okay. Uh, well, so it's going to be another 3% on almost a million. So another 30 grand. So it's 50 grand that I made because I knew what application I should use in this particular situation. So
Mhm.
you're not going to use it every day, but if you know some good AI tool that we have the chance to know in the Wolfpack, because we have a lot of value in coaching on that, once you need the good application for the problem or the situation you are in, you know how and when to use it, which turn into really nice result. In my case, 50,000 commission more than I would have normally done if I didn't had this knowledge.
That's incredible, dude. And that goes back to the concept that I always talk about, which is knowing enough to be dangerous. You don't have to be some ninja nerdy expert on artificial intelligence. It, you know, Dan Martell came and spoke to us, and he was talking about the fact that AI is not going to replace jobs or realtors or any entrepreneur. Agents who use AI will replace those who aren't. And I think it's such a critical time to be aware of what we have at our disposal. Because if you weren't aware of those tools, that's a huge difference between 50K and not. To some agents, that's what they're making in a year. And you just had the wherewithal to understand what tools do I have, how can I use them, and how can I apply them. to this situation. Now, Marc
And I
Andre,
coach
that
all
kind of
my team.
brings.
I coach all my team to use those. I told them my story next week in the last mastermind. So uh, we 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 grow together. What
Yeah.
is fun?
Well, that perfectly leads into how we like to bring this full circle. You've partnered with us, and you obviously made the conscious decision to come over to EXP, specifically our group, the Wolfpack. I always like to ask why you made the decision to come to EXP and the Wolfpack specifically, but more importantly, what can people expect when deciding to partner with you and get both myself and your help in order to take their business to the next level?
I really love the question, and I wish I'm going to answer it properly. I have to go back a couple of years. I almost quit. I almost quit real estate in 2021-22. Okay, uh, I had achieved my goal, 500K and more. That years I made a flip too. I made over 800 K this year. So it was a really nice years. And this year I received my trophy, the one in the middle there, 500K. I received it in a box, and I was like, all that work for that, and I work a lot, and I didn't feel happy at all. I didn't feel happy. I always thought that that will bring me happiness, but it didn't because uh, I looked like that and I say, if I want to keep my lifestyle the same way it is right now, I have to do it again next year and next year and next years. And I say, it's not what my dream life. What motivated me at beginning was to having a house lake, which I have, having big toys, boat, ATV, motorcycle, all that stuff done, but being able to use it, having the time to use it, which I didn't thought at first. I said, just having it is the part that is fun. No, using it is the part that is fun. So I really, I hit a wall. I say, okay, I need to have leverage. I need to have leverage. I need to have residual income, which I knew existed because I learned that in MLM. That residual income is a thing. It exists because no, it's not taught at school that residual and leverage exists. But I knew that a couple of years ago when I tried to do MLM, selling vitamins. So I say I need to have this residual income. Maybe I can try Airbnb. Maybe I can buy a couple of Airbnb or all that stuff. And uh, I remember my partner Mathieu Levesque. He told me that he quit our prior real
Brokerage.
estate
Brokerage.
brokerage. Thank you. Yeah, the prior brokerage we were in, he quit and he said he was heading to EXP. I said, EX what? And say EXP, it's blah blah blah. He start talking. I wasn't listening at all because I was a tattoo of my oldest brokerage. I really was tattoo. I had my bathrobe was there, this logo. My truck, I had a delivery truck that has this logo. My plate, my car plate as the name in it, like it really sell. So I didn't listen to him. But when I hit that wall, because a couple of weeks prior to that, I was fine. I was heading to have a career of many years in this way, but I hit a wall. I say, no, I cannot do that 25 years more of not building something that's going to be mine, not having residual leverage, not having a team working to building somebody else's businesses. And it really hit me. And I start looking into EXP. And that's when I understand the leverage principle, the equity,
Hmm.
yeah, and the ability to work in a team and building something. So, what was the question at first? Sorry.
Yeah, no, why EXP, which I think you answered, and then
Why?
also,
That's why.
what
Because I
what
wanted
can
to build
people
something.
expect when partnering with you?
Hmm?
What can people expect when partnering with
Uh,
you?
what they can expect. I think my big plus is having you. You are one of my big plus, and the language that I speak. I speak French. You speak English, and you gave us the ability to traduct, to
Yeah, translate.
translate your social academy, which is amazing. So we are now having YouTube and Facebook in French that we can offer to everybody that want to put their business to the next level using really up to date knowledge. So how you can have a really nice business. They can also partner with me and all my teammate that have. I have a lot of person in my group right now that have a lot of success, and we share every week that in French. So if there's French people that want to join us, feel free to reach to me, and we'll plug you into our system that's gonna help you, and maybe doing like me, which is having fun to do real
Yeah.
estate again. And I really have fun because I was about to quit. I swear I was about to quit. Even if I was making a lot of money, I was like, ah, no more challenge. I want to have more. I want to build something. Now we have it, and we help people achieve that too.
100%. Well, man, and I know that, even though you're French and even though you've been able to translate all the training into French and you pour into your community there in Quebec, you've also helped a ton of people in English. And I want people that are listening to realize that, Marc-André has such a wealth of experience, as you just heard, from, prospecting to organic strategies to video marketing to leveraging AI. It doesn't matter where you're from, where you're located. Marc-André, I've seen myself, is an incredible leader. He pours into people. He genuinely supports you. And like we talked about with FSBOs, he serves, he doesn't sell. He wants to see you win. And again, there's nobody better to align with if you really are stuck right now
Thank you.
and wanted to go to the next level. So Marc-André, thank you again, brother, for sharing, your wealth of experience and giving very tactical strategies that I know are going to make a world of a difference for those who apply it.
Thank you very much.
All right, guys. Well, make sure you go check out all the links in the description. Book your call with Marc-André. Go check out his social media content so that you can see a reference of what you should be doing. And then we'll see you in the next video.